So Arcane Season 2 just came out. It probably just didn't come out by the time this video's up, but as of time of recording, it just came out, and one of the big professor dudes was talking to his disciple, and he said,
"Those who shine brightest often burn fastest."
And that's kind of what today's video is about, actually. And that's to say that working very, very hard at something leads you susceptible to burnout. So sometimes not working as hard is the key to actually doing something that is incredibly difficult, because if you don't work as hard and continue with it over the long term, you will make more progress than working hard and then giving up or taking a long break. Also, sorry if the light is very bothersome. Maybe it'd be better to go somewhere else. I already have it set up, whatever. And honestly, this quote kind of holds true to language learning, but there is a way to circumvent getting burnt out. Hi, I'm Jackson from Let's Learn Languages. I've been learning a language for over 2.5 years. So not to say that I'm a genius at language learning, but I know what it takes to learn a language over a long period of time. And something that is a recipe for disaster is working really, really hard at the beginning, because then it's really easy to just give up and never touch it again. So honestly, in my opinion, I would just, if you want to learn a language, I would start off really, really small. I would do, 15, 30 minutes of studying a week and then gradually build your way up. That's what I do for most of my habits, and that's very much inspired by Atomic Habits by James Clear. And the main takeaway from that book is that if you do any sort of habit for a small amount of time each day, if you get 1% better each day, you'll be 37 times better at that skill than you were at the beginning of the year. And that's sort of the same principle that I take with most of my habits that I build in my life, is that I don't have to make huge strides, but if I make little gains each and every day, over the long term, I will get much better. And that has been my skill, my ability, my hidden knowledge, if you will, to develop some of my other habits, such as working out. I started working out once a week for a semester, and then twice a week for another semester, and then 3 times a week for another semester, and now I'm addicted to it. And same with my phone. I started off not using my phone for an hour every day, and then the next day I go for 2 hours, and then the next day 3 hours, until I reached 8 hours. And then my screen time at that time was like 2 hours, 15 minutes total daily. And then I just decided to put a limit at 2 hours. And then I've been working my way down ever since, just lowering it by 1 minute per day every time I reach that goal. So I'm not making huge 15-minute jumps in reducing my screen time. I've been making tiny changes that'll add up over the course of a year. And, before 6 months is over, I'll be below an hour a day. And it's the same sort of thing with learning a language. If you work really, really hard, if you study an hour a day for 2 months, you will make a lot of progress, but you're going to be exhausted, and the chances of you giving up are not in your favor. In my opinion, it's very likely that you're constructing an unsustainable path for yourself. However, if you start out small and even study 30 minutes per week for a year, that'll slowly be a habit in your routine, and you'll slowly get better and better with the language. Consistent gains will almost always outweigh huge bursts of motivation and then nothing. I mean, look at long distance running. You never see people sprinting and then stopping and then sprinting and then stopping for a marathon. Those who are the fastest and most consistent and best at running marathons always do so at a consistent pace, and that's the goal. And we can also take this analogy one step further. You never see people starting off with 7-minute miles in marathons right out of the gate. They start with 10-minute miles, and then they go down to 9, and then 8, and then 7, and then they've reached their goal. They never just start training with the hardest thing that they possibly can, because it's so easy to get motivated. And that's exactly the same thing when it comes to learning a language. If you start out running, it's easy to get overwhelmed and very easy to give up, get demotivated and quit. But if you slowly introduce yourself to the language and slowly build that habit of learning a language each week or each month or each day, then the odds of you sticking with it and actually being successful in learning a language are significantly greater, in my opinion. I don't really know how to transition to an outro here, so I'm just going to leave you all with this. Learning a language is great, but doing so in a sustainable way will almost guarantee your success. And that goes with most things in life. You can work really hard at things, but make sure you do it in a sustainable way, because if not, your match will burn out quickly. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Ciao.